What have we said before about police using electric vehicles? Apart from it being an exercise in futility, because it's hardly going to make an impact on the so-called global issue of climate change, won't make the public suddenly like them because they're spending their money on green initiatives rather than spending their money on doing their bloody jobs. But we have all made jokes about electric police vehicles running out of batteries whilst mid-pursuit. Well, according to Gloucestershire Police and Crime Commissioner Chris Nelson, police are having trouble tackling crime and responding to emergencies because their electric vehicles are running out of power. In fact, that's so amusing, I think that deserves a second. Gloucestershire Police currently have the largest fully electric fleet in the UK, with Scotland wanting to be the first to achieve a 100% electric fleet. Gloucestershire currently have 21% of their fleet of 435 vehicles as being fully electric. But PCC Nelson said recently at a Gloucester Police and Crime panel meeting that officers are finding vehicles run out of power whilst responding to emergencies in rural areas, and that he is concerned about the operational impact electric vehicles are having on the force. He claimed that lots of police officers who are issued the battery operated cars are struggling to find recharging points, and that the vehicles run out of power before they can find one, which means they need another police vehicle to be taken out to them for them to use. Nelson's comments were in response to a question from Councillor Steve Robinson, who asked if the PCC supported the use of electric vehicles. Nelson said, "We've all got to go towards electric vehicles moving forwards." Yeah, do we though? Or is this simply trying to win brownie points from Greta and David Attenborough? Nelson said that the largest fleet by percentage size, that has brought its problems. Oh yeah, I know only too well about having the largest something by percentage size, and yes, it causes some very serious problems. The design options available for electric vehicles for operational uses are not perhaps as advanced as I would like them to be. I'm cautious about going any further down that road at this stage. Why did no one think about this before spending so much money on fleets of battery operated cars? It seems like one of the fundamental questions to be asked before purchasing one. Will it cope? Will it last with all the equipment? No, you say. Okay, then we'll wait until it can, before spending millions of taxpayers' pounds on vehicles that are not operationally suitable. I'd like to see more operational choice, he said, so that, for instance, if an officer is out in a rural area on a road traffic accident and his lights are on, his radio is on, his heater is on, I wouldn't want him to run out of power for all of those different facilities, simply because he or she is in an electric car. I've heard lots of problems with officers driving around in electric vehicles, having problems, trying to find recharge facilities, running out of puff, and then having to get another vehicle. So, although the world is going down that road and I fully understand and support climate controls and green areas, it's definitely an important thing, but my first priority is to fight crime, and therefore I have to take the operational effect into account. So does this mean that with a fleet of 92 electric vehicles that are quite literally no good operationally, that they're going to sell those vehicles and put the money back into proper policing and wait until some vehicles that can be used effectively are made? I know that police will say, well, instead of using them for operational purposes, we'll let police bosses use them and for use for non-emergencies, but that's simply a waste of millions of pounds on basically new company cars. That doesn't benefit the public in any way, shape or form. I do also hear that Tesla model electric vehicles are a favourite with police forces, but if you know anything about Tesla, you will know that a normal mechanic is not someone who can simply get under the hood and fix any issues with a Tesla. Teslas generally needs to be serviced or repaired by a Tesla engineer, which will cost more money for the taxpayer rather than getting a standard grease monkey to sort out the issue in the force's body shop. I really do despair at the lengths that the police will go to in its attempt to pander to certain political ideology issues whilst completely overlooking the issues to the public who they are supposed to serve and protect.